This is a guest post by a popular YouTuber. I have known him for 2 years now. He is very funny and creative, but most importantly, he is an amazing person. He has taught me a lot of things, especially when it comes to making videos. I've learned so much from him and I appreciate everything he's done for me. So I would like to give him the opportunity to share his story here on my channel. Please give a warm welcome to our guest. Now, I am going to tell you why everyone loves Uncle Kaled. Once upon a time in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake lived a man named Kaled. Kaled was known throughout the village as Uncle Kaled by all of the children and adults alike. And there was a simple reason behind this endearment. It wasn't because he was related to anyone in particular, but because he had a heart that knew no bounds when it came to showering love and affection on everyone around him. Uncle Kaled wasn't just a resident of the village, he was its heartbeat. Every morning he would wake up before the sun, his joints aching from a lifetime of hard work. But the moment he saw the first rays of dawn, a smile would light up his wrinkled face. He would say, "Good morning, my dear son. You look beautiful today." And the sun seemed to shine a little brighter, a little warmer, as if acknowledging its old friend. His days were filled with an infectious energy. He could often be seen tending to his vegetable garden, humming a tune or sharing a joke with the birds that perched on the fence. His garden was a riot of colors, a testament to his life force. The juicy tomatoes, the vibrant carrots, and the crisp lettuce were not just food for him. They were tokens of his love that he shared with anyone who entered his home. In the evenings, after the day's heat had subsided, Uncle Kaled would sit on the porch of his house, whittling a piece of wood. His house was always open, a sanctuary where tired travelers and lonely hearts found solace. The villagers knew that coming to Uncle Kaled's meant a warm meal and a night of storytelling. The old man's tales were legendary, each one more exciting than the last. He spoke of mythical creatures and valiant heroes, of far-off lands and magical adventures. The children would hang on to his every word, their eyes wide with wonder, while the adults listened with a mixture of nostalgia and envy. Despite his advanced age, Uncle Kaled was a whirlwind of activity. He chopped wood with the strength of a man half his age, mended fences with nimble fingers, and helped the villagers with their chores with an eagerness that belied his years. He was a fountain of advice, dispensing wisdom and wit whenever it was needed. His words were like honey, sweet and soothing, and they had a way of sticking in one's mind long after the conversation had ended. One day, a young man from the village approached Uncle Kaled. His name was Omar, and he was known for his quick temper and hot-headedness. "Uncle Kaled," he began, his voice tight with frustration, "I need your help." The old man looked up from his gardening, his brow furrowed with concern. Omar was a young man full of vigor and spirit, but lately he'd been carrying a heavy burden on his shoulders, one that seemed to weigh him down and dampen his usually bright eyes. "What troubles you, my boy?" Uncle Kaled asked, his voice as soothing as ever. Omar hesitated, then poured out his heart to the old man. He told him about his failing crops, his mounting debts, and the despair that was enveloping his family. As he spoke, tears welled up in his eyes, reflecting the anguish that had become his constant companion. When he finished, silence descended on the garden, broken only by the chirping of crickets. Uncle Kaled didn't speak right away. Instead, he placed a comforting hand on Omar's shoulder, his touch as gentle as the morning dew. Then, in a voice that was hoarse but kind, he began to speak. "My son," he said, "life is like the seasons. There are times of growth and plenty, and there are times of dormancy and scarcity. Just as the winter gives way to spring, so too will your troubles. It is the law of nature." Omar shook his head, his voice cracking with emotion. "But what about my debts? How can I repay them?" he asked, his eyes downcast. A wise smile touched Uncle Kaled's lips. "Repayment," he said, "can come in many forms. Sometimes it is in the currency of kindness, other times in the coin of compassion, and sometimes it is in the gold of a helping hand. He took Omar to his garden and showed him how to sow seeds of hope and resilience. They planted crops that required minimal care, ensuring that at least something would grow during the lean months. He taught the young man how to preserve the harvest, how to make the most of what they had, and how to barter for what they couldn't. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the garden flourished under their combined care. Omar found solace in the routine, in the rhythm of the seasons, and in the wisdom of the old man. He learned that life was not just about reaping the rewards, but also about sowing the seeds. He understood that true wealth was not just about material possessions, but also about the richness of the soul. Through it all, Uncle Kaled never asked Omar to repay him in any conventional sense. He knew that the repayment would come in the form of Omar's personal growth, his renewed sense of purpose, and his commitment to helping others. The debt was being repaid in the currency of experience, in the coin of understanding, and in the gold of character. The story of Uncle Kaled is not just a tale from a distant land. It's a mirror reflecting the values we all strive for, the love, the respect, and the wisdom that transcend generations. He was not just an old man. He was a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience, and an embodiment of unconditional love. His story reminds us that the greatest wealth is not measured in material possessions, but in the richness of character, the depth of compassion, and the warmth of human connection. Thank you for listening to the story of Uncle Kaled. If you enjoyed this story, I invite you to check out some other wonderful stories available here. I would also like to request you to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever a new story is posted. Your support means a lot, and I look forward to bringing you more enchanting tales in the future. Until then, keep reading, keep dreaming, and never stop believing in the magic of stories. Thank you and goodbye.